Here's my boy, Oscar. Hey, very deaf these days, aren't you, mate? Looking old, 16 years old. Well, we're now going to put Oscar and Sophie, who's just coming back, in their crate. And here they are. Huffing and puffing. Sue's having a little job getting them in this morning. But
yeah, they're out of practice.
A little bit out of practice. But this is the crate that they sleep in whilst we're driving. Sitting outside the house here, the van. I've been the last week or so, I've been cleaning it, getting it ready, putting things in, taking things out, as we do. And I'll talk to you about that as we go through this series of videos. We've also had a lot of paperwork to do, the insurances to make sure are correct, the mechanical side of the van checks, them sort of things. Again, I'll run through some of those as we go along. This morning we're heading towards Folkestone, and we have a train booked for tomorrow morning, which is via what we used to call Eurotunnel, is now Le Shuttle, and the train will take us to Calais at 10:15 tomorrow morning. In the meantime, we need to pick up our animal health certificates from Abbywell Vets, and also we're going to stay at the Canterbury Air, which is only £8 for the 24-hour period. So that's going to be our resting place for this evening, and we'll get an early night in, and then tomorrow morning we'll be fresh and ready for the journey into France. We're going to head across Ipswich. We live in Ipswich in Suffolk, and down the A12 heading towards London.
One for the resting, for the adjusting, one for the tired hands, one for the letdowns, all thanks to this old town, one for the shattered plans. You know the time has come for breaking some new ground. I'll let you drive.
Well, we've made it to Abbywell Vets, and we've come round to the car park at the back of Abbywell Vets. It's a working day and the car park is pretty full. Came in via the little road there next to the church, and the car park is here. This is for all the officers and things that are around us, and then at the back of Abbywell Vets here there's 3 spaces.
You need a high throne where you can be adored. You'll get what you deserve. This town is no fun. Your life has just begun. We need to live and learn. You know the time has come for breaking some new ground. I'll let you drive. So we will stare at views we can't believe we found. We'll feel alive.
Here we are at New Dover Road Park and Ride, and it's about £8 if you stay for the evening and overnight. The car park's pretty empty, as you can see, because this is early in the morning. I filmed it just before we left, and the building has a ticket machine on the outside and the inside. You have to pay as you leave, pick a ticket as you come in. It's all AMPR, number plate recognition, and over there is the compound. And behind the trees is an overflow area for motorhomes, and there's 1 or 2 that spill out onto the main car park. So here we are in the compound, in the main air, and down the bottom end here is where the grey water drop is, and bins to the left, water taps to the right. This is the tap for flushing your tanks. Well, we soon got down to the terminal, and key thing is to keep on the right hand side here, because the check-in on the left is for trucks, so you don't want to get caught in that lane. But as soon as you approach the ticketing booths, they are now all electronic as far as I'm aware, although in the past we have seen people in here that can help you with your ticket. And you go around to pet reception, and you park in car park. Now before we get there, you'll see we'll drive down this road. Now every time we've been to this terminal the road's changed, and now on the right hand side here, we're actually in the European lane, but on the right hand side here you'll see the UK lane has been penned off or cordoned off, because this building here is ready for us to be checked before we go back into Europe. there'll be extra checks for us to enter Europe fairly soon. Now you do have to go into the lane that says other vehicles, not cars and motorbikes. First area was for coaches, and we pulled down in this one and joined another motorhomer just here. We went into pet reception at this point and got the dogs checked and the paperwork checked, and after that we waited for the board to tell us that our train was ready to board, so we headed down towards immigration. This is the UK immigration passport control. This gentleman here in the high-vis jacket is, because we're a motorhome, he's going to ask us to go into lane 1 or 2 on the left here. We went into lane 2, and this is the Le Shuttle and Eurotunnel staff checking vehicles. And for us, they like to check the gas and make sure that the gas is, the LPG tank is switched off. Now you're going through French immigration. French passport control here checked our documents, our passports, and we were fairly quickly through. Now on this side of the checks, we have to make sure we go into large, not into cars. Now we almost went into the flexi and the low. We want high or large, so look out for the signs. If you're a motorhome, you need to be in that lane, otherwise you'll end up on the train with the 2 decks, the top and lower decks, and you don't want that with being a high vehicle. This chap in this little hut tells you which lane to go in and which train you're on. Your ticket, I think we were G1, and your ticket has a train number on it. Our train was almost ready to depart, so the gate was already open. We drove straight through and round to boarding, and very shortly we caught up with the queue of cars and motorhomes that were going on to the train at this point. You've got enough space there between these carriages to get on and straighten up before you get into the carriage, and I always take time here and make sure I stay well clear of these dividing gates, because if you can't fit in the carriage, they have to shut those gates behind you. So you don't want to go too far, because remember, you've got cars behind you as well. So here we are, we're just being guided onto our spot. We have to put our handbrake on and put it in park, and then the compartments shut down. You see the shutters coming down there. Well, that's lovely. We're just about 500 yards from the air and Latuka, and this is just lovely. This tide is out, so it's quite muddy down there, but there's a beach, a sandy beach down there where people are enjoying what's left of the sunshine. We have had quite a sunny afternoon, but it's now late afternoon and we're going for a walk. So we arrived at the Latuka Air, which is down near the marina. So this is where you come in, and the bins are just here, and there is a pay post. But Sue used the pay by phone app.
I downloaded it.
Because we didn't find the other very reliable. But there's several Brits here along this row.
Yeah, we've just been for a walk, and they've got a separate cycle track and walking. Into La Touquet.
This is where we're parked here, and as I say, we're next to another English couple. And we parked on the end now. Not everybody's cup of tea because we're near the motorhome service point, but it doesn't worry us too much. We parked nose in first, so we've got the door on this side. We're fairly private apart from that, so it's quite good. We're happy. Good morning. We're off to the market. It's a Saturday, and Thursdays and Saturday in La Touquet are market days. So we're going to take a 20-minute or so walk into the old town. We've walked along the sea front, and it's just along here. Lots and lots of parking, restaurants and things along here. There's a Lido there with a slide, and then we've come to this really lovely looking merry-go-round, and there's a sculpture of what looks like the Eiffel Tower. Well, we've come across the post office, and it's beautiful here at La Touquet. Lovely streets. Sue's happy. We found the market. All the stalls, market stalls through here. What are you looking at?
Cucumbers.
Yeah, they're big, aren't they? Lots of fresh produce here. And the indoor market here now. This lovely building. And outside, a clock on the wall. Oh, I found the sweetie stall. The wines locally grown, a wall of radishes.
Hey.
A lovely little square. A lot of buildings around and cafes. Just all walking back towards the van now. It's really nice. People sitting outside having their lunch.
I like the flowers.
They're very pretty, aren't they? Yeah, you like the flowers?
Yeah.
Oh, and there's, yeah,
Daffodils.
the big daffodils, yeah, just down here. Well, we've come down to the beach here at Mer-le-Bain, and it's lovely, really quite upmarket little town with some beautiful streets here. And let me show you some of these buildings, and the sea is clear blue. A little bit misty this morning. Here we are. There's a lighthouse over there in the murk, but it's these buildings here that we've come to see. They're stunning. Beautiful, colourful facades, the old French style architecture, and they stretch all the way along. There's some more modern stuff further down, and at the other end there's the cliffs. We'll go and see those in a little while. Lovely little display here for Easter, and the cliffs behind. Now we're just going to go to the edge and see if we can see over towards the cliffs. Beautiful white cliff, and Sue just said it reminds you that this was probably joined to the south coast of England at some point. And a lovely beach. An old historic wall here. And teddy bears. Sue's just gone inside to see if we can go in and have a look and take some pictures. We're back at the coast. Where are we today?
Aramanch.
Aramanches?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Is
put
that
the
how
name
you
on the
say it?
screen. This is where the World War II D-Day landings were. We came here 2 years ago to this very air and just stayed for the day. But here we're going to do an overnight. It's €11. There's no electric, there's no facilities, there's bins.
Bins.
And water and waste dump, but that's all. And we're now going to walk across the field, down the hill to the beach.
We came a different way this time. That's part of the finder, weren't it?
It was a bit more
And
difficult.
there's another air that you can pay on that's got electric, and
Yeah.
we did eventually find it, but we decided we'd park here because we've got a better view.
Yeah, it's
And that
less
was down quite a
congested.
steep embankment, weren't it?
Yeah, so we're
Fancy
going to just one night here, and then we'll head off further west. But time's getting on, and I want to get down the hill to the beach. So this is the air here. As you can see, the bins over there as well, and Smurf's just here, third on the left, just sticking his nose out behind these other two little campers. Some of the landing pontoons here. And we took pictures of these fellas last time we were here. Metal sculptures. Been through the museum, haven't we?
Yeah, it's really good. The Mulberry Harbour was the most interesting bit, weren't it?
I thought it was. The way they
Fascinating.
constructed it and transported it to
real
here.
Ingenious. Wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And there was lots of stories of, the leaders and how people, everything was kept secret. People didn't know what was going on until the very last day. So I'll do a pan around. You can see some of that. we're going to go and find out. Oh, we might go in Sergeant Willie's. That sounds quite nice. Let's go in there. Well, Sergeant Willie's is closed. The bar is closed. So only get snacks there. So we wanted a cold drink. Fancy a beer. Well, Trev wanted a beer. So we're going in here. We headed west to the coast and we were in for a treat. We've made it to our next stop, and this is Gouville-sur-Mer, which is on the west coast of France in Normandy. We're still in Normandy, but we've come down a little bit through Bayeux and to the west coast. The next stop, of course, after this one will be down towards Mont Saint-Michel, which I'll show you on the map there. We've been here before. We came with Sheila and Joe just for a stop off when we were on our French tour 2 years ago, and they were preparing this air with electric hookups. They're not working today. We're not sure whether that's only on part of the day, but we've got our hookup cable ready. It was €15, Sue?
Yeah, €15.44.
€15.44.
Swipe it on the thing at the bottom in the end, did we?
Yeah, so we were fiddling about with the credit card and refused about 6 times, but eventually Sue just hovered the card near the reader and it went through somehow. I don't know. Smurf, and we've joined this long row. When we were here last time there was only about half a dozen vans, but it was in June, and today, as I said, is a bank holiday. Got the solar panels out on Smurf there, you might be able to see, but there is a long row this way as well. We're about halfway along, so we're going to walk down here and see if we can get down on the beach down near where those flags are. People out on jet skis and all sorts down here. Oscar's loving it. Wow, look at that, not a breath of a breeze today. Hazy sunshine. It's still about 24, 20, I got up to 26 earlier, but it's dropping now. So it's quite humid. We're enjoying this. We're not beachy people really, but I do like a walk on the beach. So do the dogs.
Yeah, we're not sure whether they're allowed or not, but we've seen other dogs on the beach.
Well, there's no signs up saying no dogs, so we're assuming there's other dogs on here. We're assuming it's dog friendly, so no problem, as long as I keep them on a lead. Sorry about my shaky hand. I've got the dog in one hand, the camera in the other. So let's go for a little pan across. There's the air, and you should be able to pick out Smurf somewhere along there. We reversed in, so we've got a nice view out the back. So he's made it a little way down the beach there. More tractors over here as well, and the tide is way down now. Quite clearly a fishing community here. We've been watching this view most of the afternoon. It's 7 o'clock in the evening now.
Electric's come on, isn't it?
Electric is on, yeah. It comes on between 7 and 7. And just look at that. Beach is cleared. There was lots of people out here earlier. And we're waiting for the sun to go down, but well, it's another sunny day, and I've forgotten which day we're on now, but we've been away from home for a week or so, and we're at Aliotis. It's the one that we booked through the Caravan and Motorhome Club, this one, and we're on a really nice pitch, but it's a bit of a chilly wind. We did ask for a shady pitch and we got one, which was really nice. But we're going to find out, go for a little walk through this lovely little gate on the side and see where it takes us. We're quite intrigued because we think there's a nice little walk down here. Been out here with the dogs a couple of times, but we'll see. I'll show you what it's like. First time I come out here, it was really nice. Here's the gate. Look. This little gate. I think they shut it at night and lock it because there's a padlock on there. But when you come out here, this is a cycleway and walkway, I think. And look at that. So we just walked down the path there from the campsite, and they've cut the trees up this end, but out into the sunshine again, and there's a tidal river just that runs parallel with this, which is really pretty. This is the map of the town that we're right next to. It's Pontosson. There's a little bridge we just come across. There's an English telephone box full of books over there. And we're just saying that there's some lovely cut lawns. It does say no dogs allowed in these gardens. I think there might be an air over here. Some motorhomes over in the distance, just over here. A few of them. Very pretty. And look at this lovely little roundabout with the sheep in the centre. Isn't that great? I always have to have a quick look down the side streets, and there must be something about Pontosson, the town here, that has something to do with sheep. Look at all them. We think this might be the town hall. It certainly looks like an official building. Lovely flowers. And there's a market here one day a week. We think it might be Wednesday or Friday. Pharmacy across the road. We're at the opposite end of the road where the sheep are in the sky. And Sue said, let's have a look at this little church. So we've arrived at our first campsite of this tour, Aliotas, and it's a caravan and motorhome club listed site, which is the way we booked it. And we're staying here for 3 nights over the weekend to have a bit of a rest and do a bit of planning and just get our bearings again really. We've had quite a busy few days. So the 3 nights cost us around about £80 depending on the exchange rate. That was about £80 for the 3 nights, and that includes the local taxes and of course for the dogs as well. So this is the entrance, and we'll walk down the private drive. We'll show you a little bit about the site. This is the private road that leads down to the campsite. There's all sorts of things in the campsite, including playgrounds, and these little camping areas where you can do barbecues. Over here is the fixed camping tents, and to the left is sort of park homes as well. So there's a mixture of things on here. A lot of them can be rented, and then just round to the right here there's several children's playground areas. Just down here where this motorhome is the barrier, which has got a code on it. You need the code to get in and out. And just across the road here is the reception, and to the left of that is the swimming pool. There's also a bar there. Sue and I are thinking about going for a drink in a minute. And there's a map of the site here. So you can see it's not a massive site, but it's really quite nice. The grass and the gardens are all kept quite nice. There's the pool, and the bar is open until 9 o'clock. And they do cycle hire as well here. Good signage. And the motorhome service point is just across the road here. We drive in and drive out. Really spacious, very, very good. One of the best we've seen on a campsite. On the end of this building is the laundrette, or laundry room. There's 2 or 3 machines in there, and dryers as well.
€5 for wash, weren't it, and 4 for tumble dry.
That's right.
And that was 40 minutes for tumble dry, and that all dried beautifully.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
job.
Good machines, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sue did a bit of a wash yesterday. We're around the back of the pool area here now, and the toilets are this side. Now the only thing I say about these loos is they're shared, so and they're outside really, but that's quite typical in France, that type of arrangement. And around the other side is the shower blocks. I'll try and take a picture of the showers late tonight when I go in, because there's always somebody in there, and they are mixed as well. So as you can see, everywhere is very nicely laid out. There's the little gate that we went through. So we have to go up this road here, don't we, Sue?
Yeah.
Bit of a breeze, but here's Smurf, pitch number 80. and quite a good sized pitch. We've got our ground sheet out because Sophie doesn't particularly like the grass. She never has been a dog that likes grass. How crazy is that? But here we are with Smurf. So we're going to pop the dogs away. We just had a lovely walk, and we'll pop the dogs in the van, and then we'll go and see what's over in the bar. We're entering St Malo on the north coast of Brittany, just a short journey from Haliotis, the campsite, but this is where we got into the city of St Malo. Really narrow streets. You watch, it gets even more fascinating. 20 kilometers an hour down here. This video is speeded up 3 times normal speed, but just take a little look. These streets are lovely, but in a van, when you don't really know where you're going, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking, I think is the word. But sit back and you'll see us entering through some little tiny streets until we get to the campsite, and then we find a lovely pitch, a nice grass pitch in the corner, and we're very happy at the end of this little piece. We're at St Malo on the north coast of Brittany, and we've taken a little time getting here, but we're loving it, aren't we? It's a little bit of a cold breeze today though. The wind's got up and it's a bit of a hooly blow. So show you the pitch and then we'll walk around the campsite and up to the monument, shall we?
Yeah.
So here's Smurf. We've got our mat out again because this Sophie doesn't like grass. Stupid dog. But anyway, here's the pitch. We're quite a few vans have left this morning. We've just had the night here in the corner, and we're going to go around. Shall we go up this way and up this way here? We can show you some of the other types of campers. These are like caravans, look, with a chassis, but they've got a canvas roof. That's unusual, isn't it? Toilet, showers. Is there a laundry?
There's a wash area where you can wash.
Yeah.
There's a laundry. And there's the showers and toilets. There's a disabled toilet up that one.
Yeah. So that is all of the facilities up there. So there's a laundry area, a little baby changing room, and laundry sinks here, and normal washing up here as well. Yeah, it's very nice, isn't it? Yeah. There's the main road into the site, and then down the bottom there's a gate where the bins, the recycling bins are. Just to my left, to my right now, when I've turned around, there's a reception, and very friendly they were when we arrived. There was 3 on the desk when we got here. So here we are at reception. Little caravans selling succulents and things. And, let's go in and have a look into. All the old buildings here. One with a gun on the top just there. A proper old fortress here. These were made to stop things coming up onto the beaches. But I noticed that there's workmen up the top there restoring these gun placements up the top. It's lovely that they're keeping it and restoring it. You know, they're just preserving what's here, I think, for future. I really like that. Looks like we can go inside this building, so we're going to have a look. There's lots of boat trips out, in and out of this port. This is St Malo port. So we're going to wander down. Everything's blown away, isn't it? So we're going to walk down this long steps. So I'm going to put the camera away because otherwise I'll go tumbling down. We'll meet you down the bottom, and just round the corner there is where the marina is. Lots of yachts down there. So who's taking pictures? Quite breezy down here, I hope you can hear me. But here's the marina. Just look at how many yachts there are. There are hundreds of yachts all parked in the marina here. Parked. You tell I'm not a boaty person, can't you? They're all moored. Got it right in the end. And here's the Britannia ferry, which has been there a while now. Not sure what time that sails, but it's in dock. And as if by magic, we've stumbled across St Malo Market. And we're a little bit late, it's 12 o'clock now. So I think some of the stores might be loading their vans, but we're going to have a quick look. And we think this must be the town hall of St Malo. Well, this is the road up to the campsite. It's quite narrow and in places and twisty-turny through the town. But this looks like a little ruin of an abbey. There is a board up. I'll see if we can find out what it is. But there's a lot of history on this little corner of Brittany. I'll say a cathedral medieval. So that's answered that question. Something on that island in the distance. Well, there's quite a view through this archway too. Across the water to St Malo. There's some very pretty gardens just at the top there. Facing out to this lovely view. Tide is out at the moment. Well, we've come inside a creperie, haven't we, Sue? And we're looking at this menu here.
I ordered a milk coffee and I got this.
I got a Coca-Cola Zero. I played safe.
That's a bit strong.
And
Lovely
Sue's coffee is going to keep her awake tonight.
That's not what I wanted to ask for.
Now, I ordered a crepe, which was
A savoury one.
ratatouille, homemade ratatouille with egg and ham, and a green salad. And Sue
I went
ordered.
straight for the sweet one.
She's got red berries and raspberries.
Yeah.
Look lovely, don't they, Sue?
Toasted almonds. It does.
Well, this is our new pitch on our next or latest campsite. Here we're across the pitch on this one, and we've got a little bit more space the other side because our door is the other side, of course. We've got a water tap right next to us. Look. There's Smurf. Had to put blocks on the front. We're a little bit on a hill here. Just through here, you can see there's a beach. We're just on the second row back, but we can see from our windows the sea. And if we go through this little gate here, literally about 10 or 15 yards down, we come down onto the beach. Just look at that, lovely. Oscar's taken a liking to the seaweed.
Oh, Sophie likes
Sophie's
it too.
crunching away as well.
Little snack.
Some little tasty beach snacks. Hey, Oscar. Well, here we are down on the beach, a little bit blowy, but not too bad. It's late, early evening, I would say now, at 7 o'clock, and just round here, all this beach is just on the campsite, and you see up there in the distance there's motorhomes. They stretch around that section there under the trees. There's quite a lot of trees. There's facilities block over there, and then up here is where they do the surfing and boats and all sorts of things you can hire. And then up here there's a few huts, like beach huts, that are for rent, and the campsite as well behind there. There's a lot of pictures. This front row here, I don't know what you need to do to get a front row, but we're on the next tier up, on the second row, the next tier up, and we're here for 2 nights. Yeah, we found it difficult to find nice airs, didn't we, along this bit? I mean, I'm sure there are some, and you'll probably tell me in the comments below what we've missed, but we didn't find it easy to find a nice air, so we thought this campsite looked really special, and at £30 a night.
For 2 nights, and then we're going off to Ducato for 3 nights.
Yeah.
And then we're with airs, aren't we, until the following weekend.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time we're on airs, aren't we? And we've pre-booked them all.
What's the Concano one then?
That's...
Is that an air or a campsite?
That's a campsite.
Ah, okay. So we've got 3 nights at Concano, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the following week, isn't it?
So keep watching. I mean, we're literally, well, not even halfway through the tour yet.
Because
so
we used the camping car airs, and we paid extra. We pre-booked them all, haven't we?
We've pre-booked them all, yeah. Good morning and welcome back. And thank you for sticking with us here on Poshcats Camping. We've walked into Dinard, and it's market day. And
20-minute walk, wasn't it? 25 minutes?
I would say half an hour.
Yeah, well, I
think half an hour. Certainly by the time you get from your pitch, because you need 5 or 10 minutes to get off the campsite.
But the campsite do provide a shuttle bus.
They do, and we missed it.
We're late.
I couldn't get out of bed this morning. So I've lost her already. She's on the bargain rail. You carry on, darling. Here we are. Great, isn't it? Now this smells good. Oh, look at that. Nice. Well, we'll come inside a little cafe for a bit of a warm. A bit of a cold breeze out there, and it's very busy with people, so we came inside. I'll show you. So we're just waiting for our tea and coffee, aren't we? And this is a little bar here. Put some milk in. That'll do. Oh, I'm going to make some tea. So here we are at the entrance to the campsite, and it says campsite is open. And just at the entrance here is glass recycling, and the bins through the gate there, recycling, general recycling. And you come through the main entrance here, and this is where reception is. Now this is a big family site. This is probably the most expensive we've paid, around about £30 a night. But we felt this was a little bit special, this campsite. We've just found the games room, and this is where the Wi-Fi is. Lots of information. Everything's with a card operation here, so you have to have a card to swipe in front of a sensor. And this is the exit barrier, and just at the exit there is the motorhome service point with the waste drop. As you go through into the campsite, the first part you drive through is a residential area where there are really nice park cones, and just here there's some toilets and a chemical waste point just there. And then over on this block are showers. Now these doors are locked, and you have entrance from each end. Ladies are this side, gents are the other. There's lots of camping down here. There's 2 pitches in front of me that are not occupied, but this side they're all occupied. And the road goes round to the left. There were some tent campers on here overnight. They've gone now, but there was roof tents and all sorts in this little area. Just one night stays, I think, on the tent camping area. But down here there's more toilets and another chemical waste point. And then across here there are 3 entrances down to the beach, and this is one of them. And as I said, there are tiers, so there's another tier of campers. And from here you do get a view of the sea between the vans, which is rather good. Well, hello! We've made it to our next campsite, which is Camping Torrini, and we're up on the pink granite coast. To think about all that, and we're just going for a walk in the evening. We'll show you around the campsite when we come back. It's quite busy at the moment, a lot of people walking about, so we're just going to go for a walk. Well, it's quite a busy main road, and it is early evening, so people are coming home from work, and it's a Friday. And look, the tide is up. It looks very different earlier when it was muddy, but there's a sculpture down there. There's obviously a cycle path with the cyclists coming towards us, a bridge, and out this way is a marina. So we're going to have a little look across the road in just a moment. Or just across the road here from the campsite is a marina. It's all rather nice. No camper vans, no camping around the marina. Let's have a little walk around that side, shall we, Sue?
Yeah.
So some lovely properties along the edge of the water here, and further over on the other side. Looking across, I found a little dead end. We're surrounded by water here now. It's a little jetty here to a slipway, but there's nothing else here. It just comes to a dead end. That way is the way back to the campsite, across the water. We're heading this way. We've come a little further along, but we've decided that it's becoming a little bit treacherous on these boulders, so we think we might have come off the footpath. There's still people, young people, that are clambering the rocks down there. That is quite a dip onto the beach and then back up again. If the tide comes in, there's no path, so we don't think that's the footpath. We're going to turn back. It's all an adventure, you know. There's a path here which we think it might lead us back up. So we picked up the trail, and it's a little better, yes. But as promised, we found the next beach. We've come to a little village here. There's quite a hub of shops and a sandwichery, I like that word. A little further round and another view very French here. We were just saying that we haven't seen another Brit for 3 days. It's now starting to cloud over. There is a chance of rain apparently, but this still looks lovely. Sue says we're going to go and have a coffee. I think we're going to go over there and have a coffee if we can find a table. That beautiful little village. Creperie over there. And here comes Sue. Here we are as the reception. It's closed for lunch. And they run around these little buggies. And there is a snack bar just behind here. Here's a map of the site. It's not a huge site, but it seems like it's sort of family run. Very nice. A couple of facilities blocks. And just to the right here is where the chemical waste and grey waste is for your motorhomes. And then they're reasonable sized pictures. Main road that runs through here amongst the trees. Some pictures down here with one of the toilet blocks. And here there's a view over the river. It's quite nice. And here's the children's play area. From 4 to 12 years it says. Quite a few of these park homes mixed in with the motorhomes. And there's a couple of pictures here. Large motorhome on that one, and just behind that motorhome is another facilities block. We've got chemical waste, WCs, showers through here, as well as washing up, and laundry sinks. And Smurf is just up in the corner here. Got a lovely pitch. We just got back from a walk and Sue is keen to put the mat away. We're expecting a little bit of rain later this afternoon and we're leaving tomorrow. So this is our pitch. Number, is it D5? Yeah, D5.
E5?
Oh, E5 is it? Close enough. Well, having navigated out of the campsite, we made our way on a lovely little journey here to Roscoff, and we really wished we'd have planned in Morlaix. Have a look at this lovely little town. We drove through it, and I actually drove quite slowly along here. I've speeded the video up so that we can get through it fairly quickly for you, but this was very, very pretty with the marina on the right hand side. We then, a little further down here, we cross a bridge, and then there's a huge viaduct, and there's quite a bit of traffic here in the town. It really looked nice, and I said to Sue when we came out the other side, we really needed to have stopped in this little place. I'd recommend it, and I've read a little bit about it since we've come home, and it's on the list for next time we visit the area. I'll leave you to have a little look as we drive through Morlaix in northern Brittany. here's a map of our route this morning, and we've left the Camping Tourney. We're heading to Roscoff, no more than 2 hours driving, and here are the key points: Tregastle, top right, the supermarket to the right, then Morlaix. We're now going to drive through the yellow hoop on this map, and what a pretty place that was. Another stop that we didn't do, but my goodness, very pretty. And then we'll show you what happened when we got to Roscoff. Once we passed through St Paul de Leon, beautiful little place, we thought we got on the wrong road. Garmin took us down this little shortcut, which was a bit rural, round Roscoff, and we knew we were getting near the air when we confronted this fella, but we followed Garmin and we trusted it right up to the point where we met the next junction. And we thought, right, okay, we're going to keep going here. We went across this one and down to the next junction, and this is where we were told to turn left and then right, which is exactly what we did. We turned left and we turned right, and there was no sign of the air. In fact, there was a height barrier and the back of almost the entrance of the campsite. So we turned around, followed our instincts wrongly, and ended up at the wrong end of Roscoff, and we saw another pretty little place. We saw Roscoff in the van. Almost lost me nerve at that junction there, but I thought, no, keep going, and we enjoyed the little ride through the town of Roscoff. I've got some stills of this later on in the video, so you can see close-ups of some of these lovely buildings. But it wasn't long before we came through, and the good old Garmin picked us up again from about this point, and we realised that we were heading through and back into the same direction that we started. If we'd have continued, here we are, here's the junction, if we'd have gone left and then a little further before we went right, there's the entrance to the campsite, and lo and behold, just 50 yards down the road we found the air. Thank goodness. A breath, a sigh of relief, and we parked up, and that was the end of another drama. We did keep a calm, I have to be honest, but we were glad to get there in the end. I'll show you a quick look. I mean, this doesn't look like it's been here for very long. But electric hookup, 10 amp, and then your spacers are marked out by these logs. There's a pitch right next to us, and then there's several over there as well, which are not occupied. And we're at the back end of a campsite, so these cabins are part of the neighbouring campsite. The barriers are down here. So the other facilities on these airs is a grey water drop, and then fresh water and chemical waste dump in the little pillar there. And then you've got all the in and out gates here. And we'd pre-booked this one, so all we had to do was swipe our card They do say you can press a button on the app, but it didn't work for us. So you just pass your card across the numbers, like so, and it will open. And here, if you want to buy a card or join up, you can do that on the end as well. And then bins. Well, that's it. That's what you get. And all of these that we've booked for this tour have been between £10 and £15. That's after converting from euros. So I think I'll put the price on the screen of this one for one night. And we are here for one night. So here's what the sign looks like. Well, a new morning starts. I had a bit of a busy day, a long walk yesterday, and this one was going to be a fairly short drive, only around about an hour, and just through some countryside. So we soon made it to Le Faux, and what a pretty little place this turned out to be. Another camper car park air. We hit this little signpost here, and it said road closed, and in French it had been written on except camper cars, and we didn't spot that to start with, so a little bit nervous about it, but we got through. There were some roadworks there with the road shut, so once we got along this row of trees here, very pretty, and there'd been an awful lot of rain overnight, and this area had suffered a bit. Right near the river, really nice little location, and one of the bigger camper car park airs that we've seen. So we went through and thought, oh look, there's some nice pictures round the back there. So we kept going, and there were grass pictures, and not realising just how much rain they'd had, we noticed that the road here was pretty puddly, a bit muddy. So we reversed back and thought, it looks alright there, but no. Very soft, and Smurf started to grunt a bit, so I reversed straight off. As you can see, I was starting to dig in a little, so I got back onto the asphalt, and we decided to park down on a little square of hard stand. It was still quite wet here, but in the end we took a decision not to go back on the grass, although it was very tempting, and we parked on one of the driest little sections. We were first to arrive, and there was nobody else there, literally nobody there, but soon after we arrived, 3 or 4 other camper cars turned up. So there we are, we parked up, and we were ready to have a little look around Le Faux. Well, here's little Oscar, and Oscar's had a bad leg, haven't you, Oscar? Hey, you had to have a little bit of medication last night, didn't you, for your foot? Hmm?
Is he walking on it alright this morning?
Yeah, he's walking okay this morning. A little bit tender, I think. Had some, what's that medication called, Fudge?
MkII.
Metacam, it's just a painkiller, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it seemed to send him off to sleep.
That settled him down, didn't it?
Yeah, little Sophie
By the way,
wonders
Sophie,
what's
darling.
going on. The crate's going up, so we'll get ready and get on the road. Well, it was time to leave Le Faux, and things were drying out somewhat. Lovely bright morning, and shame to leave really, it's a very pretty area. But we had things to do, and we were heading further west and south. But because of the closed road, we had to drive through the town again, well, the little city they call it. And what a shame, we had another chance to look at these beautiful houses. But of course, we did have another little narrow street just at the end here, which was unavoidable really because of the road closure. But it was marked 3.5 tonne, so we did we did get through there okay. It was a one-way street. So we're heading to the west point where there's a memorial, and we're going to pass through Crozon, which is another large town. We didn't get the opportunity to see it, but we crossed this bridge and through Crozon and down towards the point, and just went for a nice little walk really, quite a quiet walk. There was a coach party there, but lovely countryside, and we passed through this little place here, which is just after Crozon, and there's a lovely beach. We walked along here, and some little shops and things, which you'll see in a moment, but just to the right at the roundabout, this one here, there's some shops, and then at the next little junction, this one I believe, if you look to the right you could see the air on the right hand side there. We continued on down to the memorial. We'll come down to this little point just past Crozon, and I found a free car park, and we're right on the end of an outcrop of land here. Going to go down and see if we can see a view down this little road. And we've come down to the memorial here. There are steps down to it, so I'll take you down the steps just to look at it. We're right at the point now, and very, not quite the most westerly point, but there's a coach party along with us here. They're walking along the path. So there are lots of names here. And the monument. So we've walked a little further along, and I can just about get these in, I think, if the dog stands still for a minute. Oscar's done very well on his walk today. His right front is giving him trouble. He's limping a bit, so we're now going back to the van. We've been out about 20 minutes, so he's done well. Good exercise. He'll probably have a nap now. Good lad. Well, we made it back. So he's waiting for me to open the door, because we're going to put the kettle on, aren't we, Sue? Yeah. So here's the camper car park, and we're at Crozon Morgat, which you can see there's only 19 spaces on this one, quite a small one, all tarmac and barriered, and there's a barrier operating post there on the green next to the toilet. And here you've got the motorhome service point with fresh water, chemical waste and a grate in the road for your grey waste. As we look down the camping car park, Smurf is down here on the right. Well, a nice early start this morning. We came through some beautiful countryside, and we're now, it's just after, well, it's about 10:30 in the morning, and we're already at Campere in the city, on the municipal campsite in the city. And we were asked if we wanted grass or hard stand, and I said, is the grass firm? And I think with that the lady thought I meant, can we have a hard stand? We've got electric, we've got 16 amp electric on this one, in the corner here. So, and they're all new, the camp electrics has all been updated by the looks of it. Nice lighting around the site as well, so obviously spent some money on it. And we're going to go into the city now. So we'll walk along the river and then get to the old city of Campere. Well, I've just walked for about 10 minutes down the road here, which was a fairly busy road, plenty of zebra crossings and things, so pretty safe. I mean, there's footpaths, everything, and we're now at the river. I'll show you the river, and you can see the cathedral up ahead. It's looking very pretty indeed. Here's the river, and with the footbridge, and then the other side of the river, as I said, there's plenty of parking if you wanted to bring your van down. I suspect there's probably not room down there for a van. Looking from here, I can't see any other motorhomes down there. But we've just walked along on this side of the river, actually, where we said the line of trees was, because the sun is getting so warm now. But more information boards just here. So let's keep going. Looks like the entrance to an indoor market, so we're going to go and take a look. I'll probably take stills in here. Where there's a lot of people, I've been taking still shots. Beautiful. to stop myself for a minute. I was taking so many photographs of this beautiful city of Quimper. We're almost carried away with the beautiful little buildings and shops. We just stopped for a bite to eat and a beer, but found another little river shot here. Hope you're enjoying the photographs. I mean, you can't really capture it on video like you can on film, on stills, so I'm taking as many pictures as I can. Just an example of one of the little areas in Quimper here. We've walked through that earlier and I didn't spot this little river coming through here. But you've got all these other little squares. And up here as well. Very, very pretty. Well, good morning. We're still at the municipal campsite at Quimper, and we've been joined by one night stays and people coming and going, and there was a bit of a party down at the university, which is just down the hill, last night, so we enjoyed the music from there until about 10 o'clock. Let's see, the grass is green and we've really enjoyed it here. It's another very different site. Now, this won't be for everybody because it is pretty basic. The toilets and showers are functional. They're quite dated. It's a municipal site. It's one of those typical council-owned establishments, but I have to say the welcome was really warm. Two ladies in the office. I've just been to pay. You pay on exit on this one. And it was €17 for a night, and that's including the 16 amp electricity. So you can't argue with that, can you? It's about 15 quid. You know, you can't argue with that. And we've spoken to one or two really friendly Germans, and there is a split in this part of Brittany. We haven't seen hardly any British people this time. It's May, so maybe it's a bit early for the English summer. And lots of Germans, and so friendly. You know, we're walking with the dogs, they'll stop and talk, and when they realise we don't speak German or French really, they're so nice. So their English is far better than any of our other languages. So anyway, quick look at the site. I'm going to just show you reception and the toilet block without trying to infringe on anyone's privacy. It's mid-morning now, we're ready to leave. Here's a little toilet block. The ladies and gents are separate, although there's not much separating them, to be fair. There is a disabled shower and toilet on this end, and there's washing up and recycle bins at the other end. And round the back of that building is the showers, and they are unisex, so you pretty much choose a shower and use it. The doors are on the outside of the building. So that is what you get here, this lovely sort of partially shaded tree area. We're fairly near the toilet block. There's a few pictures around here. They're good sized pictures. I reckon they're 8 metres by 10 metres, most of them. And up on the hill as well, you can see there's a typical picture there with quite a large motorhome on it and a car. So you do find that there's a few pictures here that are seasonals. Sue's done a little bit of laundry, and what did I do? Oh, I was fiddling about with a video and used up about 5 gig of my mobile data. What a disaster. Anyway, I've been on to O2 and they've given me some more. So I've used up my 25 gig and I bought another 10, which cost me 40 quid, just under. So I'm not going to use it for uploading videos, I'm just going to use it for browsing and researching and that sort of thing, and watching a few videos of my own, catching up with the news. And we've got good Wi-Fi on this site, haven't we, Sue?
Yeah.
So we've got good Wi-Fi, so we're connected to that, aren't we?
Yep.
And
A swim pool.
yeah, it's a lovely site,
Feels
isn't it?
like
It's
you're in
probably,
the south of France.
it's probably one of the nicer sites
really
we've been
hot
on this
day.
tour. Yeah, and we've just,
got a gate of access to the beach,
yeah,
and there's
yeah,
also an access into the city
there is.
from here. It's
Yeah,
a
so we'll
lovely campsite.
we'll come out with the dogs just to stretch their legs, really, haven't we?
We've got 3 nights here because we thought that would just give us 3 days to
Yeah.
relax,
Yeah.
and then we've got the journey back home, haven't we, which is going to be travelling every day and
Yeah,
going
which
on
is,
airs
it's going to take us just over
until
a
we
week.
go home on Sunday.
Yeah, but we're going to take the slow road, aren't we, love?
Yeah.
And we've got some nice airs on the way back, which we'll tell you
Yeah.
about later, possibly in the next video.
They're all airs, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. But this is a campsite for the weekend again, and we've pushed the boat out. And
Got to be washed and done for €10.
what did this one cost? It was 60 plus 20. It was about
was 20
28 euros a night.
Around about that, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
about 28 euros a night, which is a 4-star site, is
It was
good
about
value.
€69, weren't it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would point the camera at the beach, but there's a lot of ladies in swimming costumes, and there's a lot of people. So we'll try and find a little bit further back where we can just take a long shot. We've stood back a bit from the beach. You can't pick anyone out from here, can you? But really nice. Very, very nice. We've come out with our sun hats on, haven't we, babe?
Yeah.
It's a warm day, but we've tucked our dogs up in bed.
Nice breeze.
Fan on.
They're in the shade of a tree.
And we've walked 20 minutes or so down to the walled city, and we came through the town, the shortcut way, which is probably the less,
About a mile.
yeah, about the less pretty way. But it was part of it was through by a lake, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
very nice. And we've come to the walled city. We've been here in 2012, and I recall that we really enjoyed it with Sheila and Joe, didn't we? So we're going to have another look around. So over here is the walled city, and there's the drawbridge we go across. Quite busy, quite a popular place on the south coast of Brittany. And as I say, we're shooting at the sun a little bit here, but you can see there's quite an area in there. And then you've got the marina this side. Here we are at the entrance. There's a couple of coach parties just turned up, but we're on the entrance side now, the entrance to the archway there, looking up at this lovely clock, and it's almost midday. And here's the view from the other side here. We're just inside the first gate now, and then I wonder whether there was a drawbridge over there where Sue is at one time. You're in this first little yard, and there is a way up on the wall. Just to the left there's a staircase, and you can go up on the wall, which we'll do in a little while. There's a bench down here somewhere, and we'll see if we can find the bench. And I took a photograph of them having an ice cream. But, we're entering the walled area now, with lots of little shops and streets. Well, if you know us well now, hats and scarves. I love my hats. Sue loves her scarves. Daren't go in there. We'll carry on moving down the street till we find some food. There's a little church within the walls. Another church just down this little lane. You think the walled city is quite small from the outside, but when you get in here, there's so much to see. We're standing up on the wall here now, and just climbed a big flight of stairs to get a nice view of this little fishing boat coming in. Look at that. I wonder what he's caught today, or if he's perhaps on the way out to find his catch. So we're just getting the last few bits put away, aren't we, Sue?
Yeah.
And we'll be on the road again. I think we're probably going to be off here by about 9:30. I've just got to check where the waste dump is. I found the chemical waste is next to the laundrette, but the grey waste dump is tucked away. I'll have a look on the map, and then I'll take a picture down there when we're on there. We're heading inland today, aren't we? Yeah. To a place called Joslin, which is another medieval town, and
air.
On an air.
Cabin car air.
Yep, and we've pre-booked it. We've pre-booked it, so we know we've got space there, and we've timed it to arrive at 12.
11:30.
Oh, 11:30. Okay. Now you may have already noticed that this is a canal towpath, and we are parked on the fence by the canal. What a lovely air this is. Now, one thing about it, it's a little dusty because this area has been flooded almost certainly in the last few weeks, because you can see there's a sort of a muddy residue on the grass. So we have got a nice shady pitch, as Sue's just said, and this is the air. People are still arriving. We've got some English neighbours, which is rather good for a change, and we're going to go for a walk into Joslin. So here we've got people arriving now, and people out on their bicycles. This is the motorhome service point here, great big area for turning round, and it's barriered. And like I said, round to my right here, pan slowly. Here's the little footpath out onto the towpath. Let's go and have a look at Joslin and see what it's like. So here we are, here's the air, and here is the canal. And looking down the canal here is Joslin. Well, we've only walked 5 minutes, which has taken us about 15 minutes because we can't stop taking photographs. It's stunning down here, and cyclists, people having picnics over here near there's a ruin of an abbey down there. I've taken so many photographs. I'll try and share those with you shortly. But just down this lovely canal there's a bridge, and look, one huge chateau. I'll put the name of that on screen because I don't know yet what that is. It's beautiful, isn't it? Along with these little places, a little creperie here that's not open at the moment. It'll be lovely to have something for lunch here with this amazing view. Little shrine. And then to my right, Sue's just disappeared through there. I got a bit behind and Sue was waiting for me up there on the road. Well-found hotspot in the town. It's the Toy and Doll Museum, the famous one apparently.
There was a queue, so we thought it must be good if there's a queue, so we got in the queue, the typical British thing.
Yeah, follow the queue. We'll see what's inside the museum. Just been through the indoor exhibition, haven't we, of the Toy and Doll Museum, and we're back out into the gardens again now. I've taken a few pictures. There was quite a lot of people in there to begin with. So we'll have a little wander around the gardens now. It's cooler out here with a nice little breeze now. So, but still a beautiful day.
Yeah.
So a map of the gardens.
English garden, is that garden over?
Yeah, an English garden. Yeah, looks like it is as well. I can't get over this. It's just so lovely. It really is. We're walking in this direction now towards the chateau, which we saw from the bridge, if you remember, earlier in the vlog. Just as a matter of record, we paid €11.50. So it's around just over £10 each to get in. And boy, is it worth it? Yeah, definitely worth it. I mean, the gardens, the guys cutting the grass around the maze at the sound of it, but it's just beautiful around here. What I can't get on video, I'll take as a picture. That way you'll get the best of both worlds. So, I hope you can pick my voice up. We're just loving it here. With the towers of the chateau. I think this is one of the best chateaus I've been in. It's not the biggest, but by all accounts it's got the most beautiful setting and gardens that you could see. I'm completely blown away. But yeah, I'll show you the pictures I took inside the chateau. Just take a look at this. And from the top of the wall here we get the view of the bridge that we crossed a little earlier down the canal. It's beautiful, isn't it? Hello again. We're on another air. We've headed a little bit more east and north from where we were. We're near Marianne, aren't we? Marianne? Yep. We're in that region.
Ambiers, aren't it?
Yeah, little town, little tiny town, almost in the middle of nowhere really, but very pretty.
Near water again.
Yeah, we've got another river.
There's only 16 pictures here, isn't there?
There is, but it's another camper car park on that group. So it's.
And you can get your tables and chairs out because we've just looked at the notice board. Haven't
Notice
we?
board says you can. There's slightly bigger spaces here too.
Yeah, people have got their awnings out as well.
Yeah, they've put a little bit of canopy out, not fully out, but they've put a little bit of canopy out to get some shade. But we've chosen the shadiest pitch on the park
Because of dogs.
because of our dogs. So I don't think we're going to get any sun all afternoon. We're going to walk up to the village here now. It looks very pretty as we drove in. Come on, a little way along the river here, almost to the village. But these beautiful properties up on the hill, along the river here. And there is a bridge down here which we're going to go and walk across. We always seem to find the churches, don't we? Another beauty here. So we've made it to the bridge, and road bridge. And just the other side, this beautiful weeping willow here. And there's the Bistro de la Varenne, and that is still very much open. We're coming to the little bistro for a cold beer. The lady said, "Would you like some homemade cake? It's still warm." Well, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it?
You reckon it's either Madeira
From this,
or lemon?
From this angle, my beer looks enormous.
I'm not sure.
Well, it is a large and a small beer. And look, here's the cake. How about that? And we're underneath this weeping willow in the shade. It's lovely and cool here, just next to the bridge. We're heading north now, back to Calais, and with two places here that we wanted to stop at in the Loire, but we just didn't have time. So we will be back, no doubt. But this was our next choice, and although we didn't get a chance to see the little villages and towns, we found a nice air, and we thought, well, we'll go and do a little bit of shopping, which was a very handy little supermarket just up the road from the campsite. And we called into this Intermarché, We got fuel as well, and I think this is the last time we refueled before we left France. In the last video I did mention, I think, that the fuel costs in France are roughly the same as the UK at the moment. From here we just had a short journey down the road to the campsite, or to the air, and here we are arriving, and it's just starting to rain, unfortunately. The start of another fine day. Well, yesterday wasn't. It was a washout. We were fine while we were driving here. And by the way, we're on another camper car park air from the camper car park app. There are hundreds of them all over France, and we chose this one, which it seems has got nice little villages around and lovely walks. Well, so much for that. As soon as we arrived, it started to rain, and we thought, oh, we'll just have a bite to eat and see what happens. It fell down. All afternoon, all evening, we pretty much just sat about reading, and I came out to walk the dogs a couple of times and got drenched, so cameras didn't come out yesterday. So we had a quiet day, but people must have known it was going to be wet, because there's no one else here. No one else but ourselves. And as usual, just as I switch the camera on, all the cars come past, don't they? The site was pretty quiet and dark. There's nothing much here, but big bank up the side here, so there's no views really. There's a little view down the end there, but opposite side of the road there's a lovely big campsite, commercial campsite, which I understand you're allowed to use the restaurants and so on there. We haven't been over there purely because, as I said, it just completely rained all day. We've got a couple of hours drive today, because we are still making our way north back to Calais. Well, we found our latest air. It's a camper car park, and it's at the Lyon-La Forêt, and it does actually say there's 12 places on the board here, but we know there's only 10. We are actually parked up inside, and there is only 10 spots. So here's the entrance, the usual things. You can take your membership here, join up, and then you swipe your card across the numbers there. Separate water.
Water in the back.
Yeah, water on the back of the post.
Right next door to the toilet emptying point.
Yeah, some of them are a bit close to the toilet emptying point. We don't like that. We don't use it.
You don't need to use your card. That's
Here's
just
the
a press
toilet.
button.
And there's the grey waste. Sue's walking across it. And what we do like about this place is this beautiful little stream. This is a little shady spot here, and this lovely stream that runs down towards the town in that direction and back up through the air in this direction. And you can hear the birds as well. It's a beautiful little spot here for 10 camper vans. And here's little Smurf. We're on pitch number 2, and looks pretty full now. Walking into the village of Lyon-le-Forêt. Looks like it's an award-winning village. There's lots of these signs up, and they say it's very pretty. So we're going to walk down the road here while a man's cutting his lawn and see what it's like. We've made it to the little town. I'm just out of breath because I've climbed up this hill. I really must get fit. But look at this. Beautiful half-timber buildings. And across the road too. One over here is having a new roof. Sue's headed for the shade. But behind us here, look. Tables ready for tonight. For the restaurants. Eating out. Sue's having a beer. Trying to work out what things mean on Google Translate.
On the ground.
And I've got a beer and I'm soaking up this lovely atmosphere. We've got the little marketplace across the road as well. Well, we continue our journey north and we travel from that beautiful place, Lyon-le-Forêt, to another one. This is St Valery-sur-Somme and we're on the way to going to the vets. Okay. Hello and good morning. We've moved on and we're at St Valery again. Oh, there we are. Which was where we were 2 years ago with Sheila and Joe, weren't we? Yeah. And we've come on the air, which we spotted when we were walking from Drancourt.
Well, I googled it, didn't I? Because we've got time to kill before the vets.
Yeah, but we spotted it 2 years ago, didn't we, when we walked along that lane. And we're going to find the lane down to the historic part of St Valery now.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit of time before we need to see the vets. So
and it's 45 minutes away, the vets, isn't it?
Yeah, from here.
Not allowed time for parking.
But this would be a lovely place to stop overnight. It's a really nice area.
Yeah, you drive in and pay on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. So we'll get walking, I'll just show you the air and then we'll get walking down the lane and get into St Valery. So here's Smurf parked up. It's quite a quiet little village sort of arrangement here. And here we are. There's one or two other Brits here. Just spoken to these lovely people. And we're going to go for a walk. This is where we came in. It's quite a large area. Good bit of space around the back still. People moving about because it's Friday, so it's the weekend, and there's more down there as well. Here's the entrance. Sue's just having a look to see how we pay, but you pay as you leave apparently. Yeah.
You can actually see the screen this time.
Yeah. Nice little pay machine. I'm sure we'll work out how that goes when we come back. So we haven't got very much time, so we're going to get started. Here's the map. And a bit of information about the area on this big notice board. And we go round here, so round the corner here and back.
€6.
There's a tariff, yep.
€12, 24 hours.
So it's €12 a night, which is dead cheap really, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm just getting full.
Yeah, very popular. Centreville. Here we go then. Well, we've made it to the historic centre of St Valery. Almost forgot where we were for a moment. But we have been here a couple of years ago. Took a photograph of this monument, which is splendid. An up close view of it. Doesn't seem like 2 years ago that we were here. But it is a lovely place, and you'll see in a moment when we come round the corner. Beautiful old buildings. Beautiful views across the bay here. Last time we were here there were roadworks. I think they were relaying the car park here at the time. There's the church. And Cracking buildings. Our view down here to the promenade. There was a couple of swans just went through there. Couldn't get the camera out quick enough, but yeah, Sue's over there taking pictures. Yeah, it's just beautiful up here at the old church, and I just noticed that the stonework in the church is similar to that of the house that we looked at a few minutes ago, just up the street by the car park here. I think this is where our little hat seller was, Sue.
Yeah.
Just here on the corner. Had his little stall on the corner here, just behind this lamppost. And that's where we bought our hats. I'll see if I can find the picture of me and Joe in our hats. He's not here today. He's been moved on. Like it was 2 years ago. This looks new to me, this little cafe. I say, Joe.
Yes, mate.
We found a hat shop, didn't we?
Well, yeah, you bought yours. Mine's already bought.
Yours is from the UK?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, nice hat. And this is where the little shopping street starts here. A little commercial centre with the main street. The commercial shops all down there. It's very pretty. We're going to walk down there and then we'll turn right and head back to our air. Well, we've made it about 40 minutes too early for the vets, so
Parked in the street.
yeah, I picked this one because it's good parking and it was in a good location for our air. It appeared to be quite a busy little practice. Very modern looking. Doesn't look like the building's been there very long, and the street is a very modern area, isn't it? It looks like a lot of the this area is fairly new, recently developed. But anyway, I'll put the name of the veterinary practice on the screen here somewhere, and I'll let you know how we get on. And we're just relaxing for a few minutes, watching people going in and out. There's no good us going in there until 3 o'clock. But we're going to walk the dogs up and down the road just in case they need to go. Well, that was very good. The lady vet saw us quite quickly. We actually arrived in there 10 minutes early, and I took in our health certificates, the rabies certificates, our normal vaccination certificates, and my passport. And the lady at the desk who did the entry on the computer needed all of those documents, so that was good. I'm glad to got everything for them, and so it took her 5 or 10 minutes just to register our dogs on the computer, and we sat in the waiting room. We were called through. We were in there no longer than 15 minutes. And the lady vet was very nice. She checked their hearts. A little bit concerned about the dogs because of their age, but there's no problem with them travelling. They both took a treat with a medication hidden inside. We've walked out to the beach and look what's going on. A little bit of windsurfing, or kite surfing. And there is a sign down there that says no dogs, but of course we've noticed French people don't take any notice of that. So we're not going to go down there with our dogs because we don't want to be confronted with anybody from the municipal or council saying you must not have your dogs there. But we like this bar here. Look, we like the look of that. Le Squali, and Sue said that means the shark. There you go. She's done her translation. And there's a nice looking promenade down here. We're going to walk a little further and then we'll see how we get on. Now, quite a breeze blowing here. And crucifix. Looking out to sea. Fabulous beach out there.
the sunshine in the day. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day.
Well, as we approach the Eurotunnel Le Shuttle, we're on our way home. And here we are, going through the gate and straight onto the train.
So I'm turning the radio up. Don't wanna hear it's too late for apologize. Lately I've realized that what goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around.
Welcome aboard Le Shuttle. Seem to be hopping on and off this thing quite regularly these days. Sue's having a banana. We just listened to the instructions, the safety instructions, and we've got into the carriage. We're about an hour and a half early. It looks like we're going to be home in time for tea, so that'd be nice. Beautiful day out there now, sunny and quite warm. So we'll finish the video here. We've had a fabulous 4 weeks. Thank you for sticking with us if you have done throughout the series, and we'll see you on the next trip, which is Hermanfest down in the New Forest, and we're looking forward to that. There's lots of friends going to be there, and that's see in a couple of weeks' time. We'll see you there. Au revoir.
You should never have to make excuses for his behavior towards you, the one he loses. I know they seem to understand now, but they will never change, no matter how hard you try. Don't call me up, I know you know what you did, so I'm turning the radio up. Don't wanna hear it's too late for apologize. Lately I've realized that what goes around comes back around. What goes around comes back around. Looks so pretty on the outside, got the eyes of an innocent one. You can never tell at the first glance.